The galaxy had fallen silent. Commander Elena Vasquez stood before the massive viewing port of the Defiance, watching the last ember of civilization die in the darkness. The Zephyrian homeworld burned below, its crystalline cities reduced to molten slag by the relentless advance of the Devourers, mechanical entities that consumed entire star systems, leaving nothing but cosmic dust in their wake. "Ma'am," her communications officer, Lieutenant Chen, called from across the bridge. "We're receiving the final transmission from the Altarian fleet." They're gone." Elena closed her eyes. In 3 months, the Devourers had systematically annihilated the 5 greatest civilizations in known space. The technologically superior Zephyrians with their energy manipulation, the ancient Kethmori with their quantum computing abilities, the militaristic Valorians with their planet-cracking weapons, the telepathic Etherians with their collective consciousness, and now the Altarians, masters of dimensional travel. All of them had possessed capabilities that dwarfed humanity's crude fusion drives and projectile weapons. All of them had fallen. "Status report," Elena commanded, turning from the viewport. 17 human ships remaining, reported her tactical officer, Major Santos. "Mixed civilian and military. Total population aboard 43,000 souls. We're all that's left of the Terran Colonial Union." Elena nodded grimly. When the Devourers first appeared, humanity had been considered the weakest member of the Galactic Council. Their technology was primitive, their lifespans short, their bodies fragile. The other species had patronizingly offered protection, viewing humans as barely evolved primates playing with fire. Now those superior species were extinct, and humanity carried the last flicker of sapient life in the galaxy. "Ma'am," Chen's voice cracked with excitement, "I'm detecting something. It's the Prometheus." Elena's heart lurched. The Prometheus was Dr. Sarah Kim's research vessel, supposedly destroyed 3 weeks ago during the evacuation of Kepler Station. On screen, the battered science ship materialized on the main display, its hull scarred by Devourer energy weapons but intact. A familiar voice crackled over the comm. "This is Dr. Kim to any surviving human vessels. I have something you need to see." Within an hour, Sarah stood in the Defiance's briefing room before Elena and the other ship captains, both in person and via hologram. The brilliant xenobiologist looked exhausted, but her eyes burned with fierce determination. "I've been studying Devourer technology," Sarah began, activating a holographic display. "Every species they've encountered has tried to fight them with superior firepower, advanced shields, or exotic physics. Every species has failed. Because the Devourers adapt," Captain Morrison from the Resilience interjected. "They learn from each encounter, becoming immune to whatever destroyed them before." "Exactly. But here's what I discovered. They adapt to complex systems. Energy weapons, quantum computers, telepathic networks. The more sophisticated the technology or ability, the faster they counter it." Sarah paused, letting the implication sink in. "But they struggle with simple, unpredictable systems. And there's nothing more beautifully simple and unpredictable than human ingenuity, born from desperation." She activated another display showing Devourer internal schematics. Their energy distribution network is incredibly advanced but operates on quantum-level predictive algorithms. They can anticipate and counter any systematic attack pattern. "So what are you suggesting?" Elena asked. Sarah smiled. The first genuine smile Elena had seen in months. "We don't attack their strengths. We attack their assumptions. Every other species fought them with their greatest technological achievements. We're going to fight them with our oldest tools." The plan Sarah outlined was insane. Instead of energy weapons, they would use kinetic projectiles, rocks essentially accelerated to relativistic speeds. Instead of sophisticated targeting systems, human pilots would make split-second intuitive decisions. Instead of coordinated fleet tactics, each ship would operate independently, creatively, chaotically. "You want us to throw rocks at them?" Captain Chen from the Endurance asked incredulously. "Smart rocks," Sarah corrected. "But yes, rocks guided by human unpredictability, launched in patterns that defy algorithmic prediction. The Devourer's own sophistication will work against them." 3 days later, the human fleet engaged the Devourer swarm at the Betelgeuse system. Elena watched from the Defiance's command chair as 17 ships, farmers, miners, soldiers, and scientists, faced down 1,000 mechanical monstrosities that had conquered the galaxy. All ships. Remember, Elena broadcast, trust your instincts. Be unpredictable. Be human. The battle was unlike anything in recorded military history. Human ships darted and weaved through devourer formations, firing simple tungsten rods and iron slugs at impossible angles. Pilots made decisions based on gut feelings rather than sensor data. Engineers jury-rigged weapon systems in ways that violated every safety protocol, and it worked. The Devourers, programmed to counter sophisticated attacks, couldn't adapt fast enough to the chaotic, intuitive human assault. Their quantum predictive systems overloaded trying to calculate the next move of a species that often didn't know its next move until the moment of action. One by one, the mechanical destroyers fell to humanity's beautiful, reckless ingenuity. As the last Devourer collapsed into its component atoms, Elena stood once again at her viewport. The galaxy stretched before them, empty but full of possibility. 43,000 humans remained, carrying the seeds of not just their own species, but the memory of 5 great civilizations. "Ma'am," Lieutenant Chen reported, "we're detecting signals, automated distress beacons from survivor pods scattered throughout the outer systems. Other species, they're not all gone." Elena smiled. When the galaxy had needed hope, when all the advanced civilizations had fallen, humanity had provided it, not through superior technology or evolved abilities, but through the one thing that made them uniquely human, the refusal to give up, and the creativity to find solutions where none seemed to exist. The galaxy would rebuild, and this time they would do it together, guided by the species that had learned to turn their greatest weakness, their apparent primitiveness, into their greatest strength. In the end, when all hope was lost, humanity became exactly what the universe needed, the last hope, and the first light of a new dawn.